me crazy. Never got your name, but you got me begging. All I know about you, you're like a pick and chooser. Make it all about you. Go take it all if you want. Taking the chance, stuck in my head, not gonna leave it at that. Taking the lead, feeling your heat. Just wanna give you my best. I don't even know your name, but you got me. 'Cause you're all to die. We don't know what happens next, but you got me. 'Cause I'm next in line. You make it look so easy, making me feel so dreamy. Now you wanna pay some drinks, but you got me. 'Cause you're all to die. Got me locked in now. Go ahead and take a shot. Do you really want me? Maybe you're just playing. The way you're making it move, yeah, you do it so smooth. Make it all about you. Can have it all if you want. Taking the chance, stuck in my head, not gonna leave it at that. Taking the lead, feeling your heat. Just wanna give you my best. Taking the chance, stuck in my head, not gonna leave it. Supposed to do, yeah. High and low, in between, acting out, make it seem. Working on our body language, working on our body language. Baby, now tell me exactly how you feel. I'm just trying to keep it real. Let me love you on the inside, love you on the inside. Tell me exactly what you mean. You mean everything to me. Let me love you on the inside, love you on the inside. Dance on the beat. I don't want no excuses. You keep me feeling so clueless. I'd like to dream. Keep on dreaming about us, baby. Yeah. Now tell me exactly how you feel. I'm just trying to keep it real. Let me love you on the inside, love you on the inside. Tell me exactly what you mean. You mean everything to me. Let me love you on the inside, love you on the inside.
Hey guys, welcome to the 5F's to Love Network, and you know it's ladies night, so it's real talk with the ladies. But listen, before we get tonight started, I want you guys to understand real talk is about real life and real conversations. So everybody has one of those days, right, where you think, nothing crazy is going to happen. Well, a lot of crazy happened today for me. But one of the things that I never expected was a really good friend of mine. And I've known him for 15 years, and he's like my little brother, but he does big things, but he's still like my little brother. He's not even 50, and he's in his mid-40s. He was diagnosed with prostate cancer. He had surgery, and now he's going through chemo. And it hits very close to my heart because my dad had prostate cancer. So ladies and gentlemen, if you're watching tonight, please share this podcast. And just know that I made this just for you because you asked, and it's always the right thing to do. Pay attention.
We know what you made of. I do better offline, yeah. I've been calling to a guy. I'm in tune with the signs. I'm just trying to let go. I'm just trying to be me. I'm just trying to do fine. More landed with the elevation. Armstrong with the levitation. My third eye needed calibration. That was heat rock when I notated. I've been going crazy. Stone face when I kill beat, leaving no trace on location, premeditated, hey.
We love our black men and we want our black men to be saved. 1 out of 6 black men are diagnosed with prostate cancer. Please don't wait. Tell every black man that you know, regardless of their age, if they're in their 40s, go get tested for prostate cancer. And let's start real talk with the ladies. Let me bring the beat in. Precious, what is
What's
girl?
up? What's good?
Girl, you've been like Carmen San Diego. You've been all over the place. I feel like I need to
they
be
want
watching
me.
The
I think
Greatest
they
Hits.
like me.
Huh? I've been watching all your social media posts. I was like, you a jet setter. But I'm gonna tell you, who just dropped off a jet. It's Toy. I don't even understand this, folks. Let's keep this real. Toy just flew in. So when I say my girls, we tight, we make it right, we make it happen. She was like, look, I just dropped in. Let me do what I gotta do. I'm gonna drop in and make this happen. Folks, let me tell you something. When it's time to have real conversations, you need your gal pal. I just want to say, Raj, you celebrating your 60th this
Hi.
week. I'm surprised you even
Am I
available.
muted?
Raj, you are not muted. We hear you
We can hear you.
Loud and clear.
loud and clear. So, Raj, you can't hear us. You need to check your audio. Until you check your audio, I'm going to talk to you in the chat and help you out so we can get your audio on. Okay, so ladies, let me tell you something. I'm excited about tonight, but I want to say our little PSA that we had to run about prostate cancer and our Black men is so important. Idris Elba in the UK, those Black men are really working hard to get the word out. It does not affect white men the way it does Black men. And I want y'all to understand this is real talk. So when you look at these symptoms, if you have erectile dysfunction, you're going to the bathroom a lot, you have an enlarged prostate, or it's just hard for you to get a good force of when you do go, men, just go get checked out. I'm begging you. When I tell you, my heart was broken. All his makeup was reapplied, by the way. My heart was broken because he's not even 50 years old. He's like 46.
Wow.
And so he just got married 4 years ago. And I mean, his wife is absolutely a freaking rock star. And when I tell you this dude has done more for kids, it just broke my heart. And you know what he said to me? Oh, he calls me Burkett. He was like, Burkett, I didn't call for you to know. This is what girl, listen, your platform is hot like fire. Okay. Your relationship platform. I'm loving it. Can you do a little commercial, little PSA or something? I said, while he was on the phone, it ain't nothing to it. You family, we doing this. So folks, let me explain. So if you got tools and resources you can use to help anybody, my thing is always help people is always the right thing to do. And you know who you are. I don't do shout outs like that, but you know I love you, you family. Folks, let's do this because tonight we talking about it. All I gotta say is dating's a little bit tricky. So Toy, listen, I know you married and I met your husband. He's adorable. But honey, you know your girlfriends on the street though. Some of them is not as lucky. So Toy, we're gonna need you to talk from the girlfriend, like what you done heard on the streets, okay? And Toy, but let me tell you something. There's a difference between girlfriend street talk and somebody asking for Toy advice. And by the way, folks, Toy will be coming to 5F's to Love with her dear Abby, because honey, it's coming. Toy gets letters all the time, and they be like, Miss Toy, what should I do? And so what she's gonna do is show she's bringing that to 5F's to Love. Is coming, and I'm excited because I might have wrote her a letter. Just don't say my name to her when you read it, though. I might have wrote her a letter.
I might have wrote her a people letter. So
exactly. I like that because we don't have a Black Dear Abby. So folks, you have an opportunity. We'll be posting where you can either email her to an email address or actually send her a physical letter. And she will read them on the air while she's cooking. Let's be clear, it's cooking and talking at the same time, like you in somebody's kitchen, and she's gonna give out advice. So that's coming. I'm so excited about her new show. Like I think I want to be one of your first guests in the kitchen. No, I just want to be in the kitchen while you're doing it. I'll be
in the kitchen. I'll be sipping tea as you do.
Look, I'm sipping Precious, tea. I'm gonna be producing the show from her kitchen. I'll be off camera though. You ain't gonna see me, but I'll be her food tester. We're gonna keep that.
I mean, ain't nothing wrong with that.
She's gonna eat all the food after the taping is over.
Yeah. It'd be like, who's in our kitchen? Christine is.
No, as you're talking, she like.
Right. I'll be like, I can't smack though. Okay, so the question is, people, this is a question I always have. What does dating mean to you? Right? What does dating mean to you? So Precious, I'm gonna ask, what does dating mean to you?
Oh, when I tell you that's a good question. I'm a little struggling with that. I want to get to know someone. Actually, I just want to have fun with the gentleman. Or have fun meaning dancing, going to the museum, checking out new things, sitting and watching boats go by, sitting by the water. I'm really looking for connection. So with dating, looking for a connection. I hope it leads somewhere, but even if it doesn't, at this age, I finally feel like I've had the right to have fun and to enjoy things without worrying about all these other things that happen in my head. So dating to me right now, just looking for a great connection, to laugh and to do the things that I take myself and do, because that's what I've had to do for a
Oh,
long
Precious,
time.
are you saying you want somebody to hold your hand and call you girl?
You know, somebody
I
hold
would
my
do
hand,
that.
open the door as Queen Toy open that door. You know, we can laugh and giggle and kiki together. And also, I want to just laugh and not make it about business or anything else. Just I'm getting to know you and you're getting to know me. If we work out as great as friends, if it goes something greater, that's cool.
And we're going to talk about that too, how a person gets in a relationship and decides what direction, because sometimes your intent when you meet a person changes. So
It
Roz,
does.
I want to do real talk with you, Roz. Don't just go ahead and talk. Don't be editing. Don't be, because when we talk, you talk different when it's me and you. You be on the show and you be clutching your pearls. Stop clutching your pearls.
Girl. Yeah.
So Roz, when you think about dating, what does dating mean to you? What does that mean?
Right now in my life, dating means collecting data. A lot of times in the past, I dated with an intention. When I met someone, I either knew right away, or I always knew right away if I would want to date this person or want to be in a situation with them. And that didn't work so well for me, because they knew, especially if I liked the guy, he knew right away, like, I brought it full throttle. Mm-hmm. And now, after a recent situationship, I had to really step back and rethink, what am I doing? I was married for a long time, and now I just like to collect. I want to collect data.
So
I want to make
data.
Yeah, in order to discern better, because it wasn't who God sent for me. It was who I picked, who I chose. And so now I have a different perspective on that.
So let me ask you a question. So basically, we got Precious who's dating for an emotional enjoyment, right? Emotional and physical enjoyment. She wants to she likes the idea of the courtship. She's courting, right?
I love how you said the idea of, because it's been lacking. Thank you.
Yeah, the idea of the courtship. Because we want to be clear, women like the courtship. And Roz, if you run into Roz is collecting data. So either you in or you out. Just make it clear. Now, Miss Coy, you are basically the CEO of the Satisfied Wife Club. So we need to know, when you tell these women about dating, and Miss Toy, don't get to my next question, which is, do you date with a purpose? Don't be in that now. I need to know. Don't do it, Miss Toy, because I know you about to do it.
I was on my way.
I know you were. So
I agree with Precious.
Okay.
I had fun dating 27 odd years ago, right? I don't know why people put so many serious ideas on it, right?
Yeah.
Because you go out with a date with someone doesn't mean that this is about to be your spouse. I think single women need to relax. It's not, hey, I want you to be my baby daddy. I'm looking for a husband right now. Right. How much do you make? What's your credit report? That's just too much, right? Just because sometimes people that you meet may end up just being a great friend, right? May end up being a business partner. May end up being just a connection for your girl, right? You don't know, because though they might not be good for you, they might be good for somebody else. Exactly. I think that we need to get out of this idea that everybody you sit across the table with is going to be your future baby daddy. No, it's not going to be that way. I think we need to relax, have fun, and just purely get to know somebody. And if something beautiful comes out of that, and we start seeing that, wait a minute, I think this is something deeper, well then, okay, great, let's move that way. But in the meantime, let's just get to know each other. And if it's not a good fit, what I don't like when women date, or even when men date, that if you see this is not a connection, there's no need to be rude and nasty and mean and cut folks off. People are in this cut them. Get rid of your haters. I just hate that whole conversation. Just be a human being that just want to get to know people. And if something great happens, wonderful. A deeper connection like future marriage, wonderful. But if it doesn't, it just could be a great friendship.
And we're going to talk about that more too, further in the question. So folks, right now, so we got a Toy saying, y'all putting too much weight on this dating. Just date to have fun, go in there with no expectations. Again, it could be a business connect for Christine. Don't mess up my business connect. You on a date? Don't be tossing them out with the bathwater. Okay,
right.
It might be a connect for me. Don't do it. But the thing is, I think she's correct. That's the way I approach dating. I don't look at anybody as a husband, a boyfriend, nothing, sex partner. At least for the first month, I'm just having fun. I don't even know what to say to you. Like, I have no expectations, because then I decide, and a lot of times by the third or fourth date, I've decided whether you're going to be a friend, a potential lover, a long-term investment. Like, I didn't already put you in categories. And we're going to keep it real. We do that. But a lot of times with women, we go, I'm dating for this to be my husband. He may not be your husband. He may be the man for the next 6 months. He may be the man for the next 3 weeks. He may be the man for the next four weeks just for dating. You don't know. But when you put that pressure on that date, honey, that's when it falls in catastrophe. And my thing is, so what is the difference between dating, a relationship, and a situationship? Ooh, honey. See, listen, now we're about to get down to it. By the way, if you're watching right now, we would love to hear from you. We do actually respond to your comments live while we're on the show. So please dabble something in comments and we will make sure we share. So listen, ladies, we could always start with me because Roz like me to own a hard question. But Christine, what about you? You know, just because you own the show hosting it don't mean we can't start with you. Okay, so listen, real talk. The difference to me is when you're dating someone, that's both of you looking for something. You haven't identified what it is, but you're dating to see. To me, I look at it like the Pythagorean theorem or the hypothesis. You're looking to see what this experiment result will be, right? And that's what you're doing. So it's an experiment, and I approach it as so. A relationship is when both people are on the same page and they're invested equally into this. That's called a relationship. A situationship is when one person's in it thinking this is a relationship and the other one is not. That's a situation. You're in a situation. And so to me, I think we need to be clear where you are, because that's where we get to all of this disagreement and we fuss and we get caught up in our emotions. You over here on Lover's Lane and they over here at the hot spot. See, that's the difference in how you communicate. And what they're doing is not that they don't hear what you're saying, but they're hearing hot spot and you speaking Lover's Lane. But they're just editing what you're saying to mean what they needed to mean because they don't want to tell you. And I'm going to tell you, it's not that a person is a coward, but a lot of times if they're enjoying your company, your time, and it's a situationship, they're not going to say, you know, this is a situationship. I'm not really that invested. I know you told me you love me 20 times, and I might have told you in the heat of the moment, but I'm not really feeling you. See, that's where we go south. So I'm going to do real talk.
I mean, I like what you're saying.
You've been up in that. What you doing?
Making me think about the situationships I found myself in, and I'm gonna keep it above. I sometimes feel like maybe I don't know how to date. Maybe I missed that lesson in school. You know, I think I missed a lesson or 2 or 15 about dating, and it makes
you didn't miss it, Precious. They didn't teach it.
Oh, okay. Because I mean, you know, I you know. There are men that want to date me, and I can honestly say sometimes I just feel like, and I'll find myself backing up. I think about my last situationship. When you start to hear the word friend and you want something more, one of the things is that I've done my autopsy of that, and just being like, you know, looking back, there was a lot of critical things said to me, and I truly internalized it. And I literally had to walk away. There is no contact. I am done. I'm not talking about anything with you. I can't be a friend to someone who's not a friend to me. I'm sorry. I can't use fake language for things. So if the dating isn't working, we're not really friends, then this is the end, my friend. And I'm
I
I'm
love
in the middle
that.
of me. I exited stage left. I don't want to keep talking about this. You know, you're out and you've been out for a long time to slow fade away. Keep it moving. I just can't go down that road. And also there's this internal work that I'm doing on me. And I
Right.
keep I'm unlearning I'm unlearning patterns because I just want to be hugged up. Like I really want to know what a man smells like natural scent, not cologne. Like they just, and I want a big
You like the
hug.
natural scent of a
And
man.
as a
I need a
woman,
little
I want
cool
to feel
water
the
mixed in
hug. I
there.
want to feel that. And
That's
what I'm
beautiful.
seeing is that's not happening. Okay, so I'm gonna be over here doing what I want to do. Maybe we'll circle back later.
And you know what? I want to say we're going to talk about that in the third part of the show. We're going to talk about the emotions that are attached to that because I think a lot of times people don't do well with the emotional part
Nope.
and they have a hard time walking away. And I'll be honest with you, I was in a relationship with somebody like we're going to say a bunch of years ago, like in my young 20 tenders. And still to this day, that person could call me, and if they needed something, I'm going, I'll do it. So to me, that's not a situationship, it's not anything, it's just my emotional attachment to them, right? And so I want people to understand that's totally different. Like I don't want to be intimate with that person, but I'm so connected to them that if they need me, I'm like, you need to get on a plane because I'm there. What you need? It's different. And I think people need to understand there's a difference. So Roz, what's up? You've been in a situationship, a relationship, dating. What's your understanding?
My
Which way you got on the
understanding
hook?
is just a little bit different. It's a lot of what you and Precious have spoke on, but really, I think when you're dating, you're just dating multiple people, and there's no attachment, nothing physical. It's just going out, kicking it, whatever. I think when you're in a relationship, that means that you're both dating with intention. You're both headed, you've stated that you've indicated that you want to be exclusively dating that person, and then the situationship the situationship is, guess what? We're not really there yet, but we're doing some things that we probably are um, trying, like kicking. What will we say? Training wheels. Let's see where it goes.
I'm interested. So Toy, when we get back, we're gonna start with you because I want to know, Toy, what are you telling these single ladies as it relates to dating? Because a lot of them they should be dating for fun, but I think they dating for facts about whether or not is you is or is you ain't gonna be my husband. We'll be right back after these messages.
Get it that I'm never going back. Get it that I'm never going back. I get to it first, I got you mad. I guess that when I get to it last. Get it that I'm never going back. Get it that I'm never going back. Going up, going up, going up, going up, going up, going up. Get it that I'm never going up, going up. We know what you made of. I do better offline, yeah. I've been calling to a guy, I'm in tune with the signs. I'm just trying to let go, I'm just trying to be me. I'm just trying to do fine. Moon landed with the elevation, Armstrong with the levitation. My third eye needed calibration, that was heat rock when I notated. I've been going crazy. Stone face when I kill beat, leaving no trace on location. Premeditated, ayy.
I really love the way the promos end with that couple loved up. Folks, the Five F's to Love, we're all about love and relationships, and not just Black love, just love in general, but we do focus on Black love because we're Black. Let's not take that as a personal thing. If you're on the show, it's about love. So the thing is, our conversation tonight, if you're just joining us, and please leave comments and we would love to hear from you, is dating. Like, what's your game plan? Like, what you doing? Because a lot of us are out here dating. And my thing is, hello, do you date with a purpose? If so, what is your game plan? So, Miss Toy, we're going to start off with you because when the ladies come to you, they trying to get themselves ready for a husband. They got to have a game plan.
Well, the one game plan I want them to stop doing or playing is don't be a belt buckle collector. Just don't do it. As women, I love Precious' name. We are precious, right? We are a jewel. And as a woman of God, I believe that a woman should save herself to marriage. And, because what happens when you start getting with these men and getting in so-called situationships, you are giving your value and your worth away to someone who will not care for it. There's a scripture in the Bible that says, do not cast your pearls upon swine. In the dating process, you are trying to figure out, am I dealing with swine? Am I dealing with someone who can really deal with this pearl that I am? And so if I lay with him and give him my pearl, and what does a pig do with a pearl? It rolls around in the dirt because it doesn't respect the value of that pearl. And so situationships is something that a woman should stay away from. Because here's the truth of the matter. And I just want everybody in the comments to, if you're watching, I just want you to tell me how you feel about this. I believe that we know when someone is into us and when they're not. So the definition you gave about situationship was that, hey, this person is into it more than the other person. Well, I would never be in that situation because I've never been, even in my dating life, that I never wanted somebody that didn't want me. I never, praised the guy who didn't praise me. I don't know how anybody could be attracted to somebody who doesn't love everything about them. If you don't want me, listen, I'm not going to be more than what I am. And so if what I am is not good enough for you, walk away, little boy.
All right, now, Toy, don't do it. Don't do it.
I sing that one, okay? Because I have value and I really truly believe in myself. And I believe that women are powerful, amazing, precious, valuable. And you got to believe that about yourself. And when you are that is when you're going to draw value to yourself. But in the meantime, you might get caught up in some weeds on the way in. So don't get yourself caught up in those situationship.
Yeah.
Have a purpose in your dating. Understand that everybody sit across the table from you. It might not be your spouse. However, don't get yourself caught up where you're laying with a man who does not value the pearl that you are.
Okay, folks, if you didn't hear anything else we said tonight, understand your pearl, and you need to go in with your game plan of not collecting buckles on your belt buckles, as they say. And that means, folks, the thing is, people sometimes get annoyed with me because I have a criteria and I make it clear. I like a certain type of man. That's my thing. And that's okay because that's my thing. And yeah, and I do joke and I play and I say to you, the questions I ask on a date is, does your penis work? You know why I asked you that question? It is for two really good reasons. One, because I'm going to tell you to get your prostate checked if it don't work. Okay? I got a lot of male friends and they all come to me. Like, Christine, I'm having problems. But if you come to me and you're a good guy, I got you. Most women, if you tell them up front, we got you. But if you wait till we laying next to you, waiting for the moment to happen, and you like, listen, baby girl, I got a problem. Don't be doing that little, Barry White voice on me then, because I'm going to turn on you for that minute. I might turn on you for that minute because I'm heated up. I'm ready to go. But if you had told me across the dinner table, you know what I would have said, babe, let me look into some stuff. In the meantime, you make a doctor's appointment. I'm going to go with you, but I'm going to talk to my herbalist. See, I'm going to put together a game plan for us to be together. Mm-hmm. Think about that, brothers. So just be honest with us. If this is a situationship, let me know. Because I might just be with you and we be together and it becomes our situationship. if you let me in on it, it might be some reason why I might stay with the situationship. But you be playing with me. I can't fool with you. So,
Well,
ladies,
sometimes, Christine, sometimes they tell you not in words, but in behavior.
go ahead on.
Yes.
So if they're not
yes.
calling you back, okay. If they're not ringing your phone, okay.
Honey,
If they're not super interested, remember the song by Denise Williams, "Silly of Me to Take the Time."
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
so what was that song all about? She said, I know you're not there, right? Because you're just a love around to score. And I know that I should be looking for more. She knew that he wasn't interested in dinner. He wasn't interested in the wine she was pouring. He brushing her hair. He doesn't care any about that. He was coming at 11 o'clock at night and he was leaving. So you want that, okay, sign up for that, okay? But you got to watch these guys because they will show you exactly what they want. And you got to decide if you're more valuable than that.
See, I need you to understand. You better throw. I had to put myself on mute because I was in full concert. You hear me? Silly of me to think I could ever have you for my God. How I love you. Did she sing it? She said, listen, don't fool with that. Y'all better be playing them old songs. And let me ask you a question. How do or did you decide what direction to take a relationship after meeting that person? How did you decide? So you know what? I'm gonna start with you, Toy, because you met your husband. You made a decision.
I sure did with that fine self. It was interesting. 2 years before we met, so me and my girlfriends would go out on. This is BC before Christ. Okay, so I had a total different. That was LaToya. Okay, that means so LaToya. She was LaToya, okay? You don't want to meet her right now, okay? But anyway, we would go out, me and my girlfriends would do ladies' night out, and we knew each other's type. So when we go to the club, we would pick out each other's type, right? Mine was tall and slim. I didn't care about color or anything. I just wanted tall and slim. That was my thing. And so they kept saying, hey, a friend of ours, he had this friend that is perfect for me. 2 years they said this. And so I was out in the streets modeling, doing fashion shows around all everywhere, right? Mm-hmm. And so my girlfriend had a party at Detroit West Club. If you from Detroit, you know exactly what Detroit is, right? But that was the hangout spot. And so I got there a little late coming from a fashion show, and I walk in and I know I was looking good. You know that day when you know everything is working right? Makeup, everything was right. So I walk in, and as I'm giving my fake ID, I looked to the side and I saw him. I said, oh, thank you, right? And so he turned and looked at me, and I hurry up and turned because I wasn't going to give him the, I don't run up on me, and I want to know that you're interested in me. So I come in, I tell my girlfriends, I done found that. I knew when I saw him that, oh, that guy, I want to know him. But I waited for him to come up to me, and he did come up to me. We danced, and listen, I've been married 27 years, been with this man for 32 years now. Never thought that it would last this long, but let me tell you, he became the man. He was the man that I was looking for. And I wasn't looking for a husband at the time. I wasn't, but he was all that I wanted. Even, I didn't even know what I wanted at that time, but it's when I met him, I'm like, yeah, that's what I want right there. That's what I want. It's like, you know it. Even if you don't have your list, you just know it the way you
just know that that's the person.
You just know it in your heart.
And folks, let me just say this to you. Like again, I said, I met her husband. He is absolutely adorable guy. But let me tell you something. He was just as taken with her. Sheila told me the story. It wasn't that she decided. It's like they both. And I'm going to tell you, I think he decided before she decided. I think she saw it. And then he was like, he didn't even tell her. He was like, ditto. But he didn't even tell her ditto. He didn't tell her ditto right away. You know what he did? He just dated her. But he knew the whole time he was dating with intent. See, I know the story. It's like a love affair. We ain't gonna get into that love affair.
And he didn't know this story. He didn't know that I saw him first for years. because I wouldn't tell you that.
Blackwell. Oh, look, Jillian, look at you logging in. Talking about, yes, we do. Jillian, don't be logging in because it's your girlfriend. Look, I just want to make it clear. That's Toy's gal pal right there. Jillian, what's going on, honey? Thank you for watching us.
She's all the way in London watching us.
She said, "Oh, it's going
We
in."
appreciate you viewing us from London, and thank you so much for watching us on Facebook. I just want to say, Play Inspire, hello, Queens. And I just want to say right now, that is one of Precious people. I know it's one of Precious people. She watching us on Facebook. I know Precious people because they always got signature. They got signature looks on their little. That's one of Precious people. That's one of her followers.
I just think that that's such a beautiful story, and I was thinking about it because today I told you I was having this interesting lit day. Like I woke up wanting to listen to MC Hammer's "Have You Seen Her?" And then I hit him with a little bit of the Jacksons, Blame It on the Boogie, because that song gets me like, listen. And then the barge.
Girl, stop.
And
Oh,
then
you was having a moment. You went the barge.
Y'all want to smoke.
know
It made me think of, so what direction did I take? So I'm thinking about, the last two real relationships that turned, whatever. And I thought, and that's probably why I woke up wanting to hear those songs because, when Elle gonna tell you, you gotta love me in a special way.
Ooh.
I was thinking about the defining moment, and I had this moment because you got therapists, psychiatrists, whatever, and I'm so used to having to prove myself to men, right? And I'm not keeping a bug. It's gonna be true tea. Let's get it.
Right.
So I'm used to having to prove, right? Because, I grew up watching my sister and men just flocked to her, light skin, green eyes, whatever. And when I was with my ex-fiance, he was taken from me from 15 years old all the way up until 31. I mean, it is what it is. But after that, I was like, I don't think I ever learned how to date because I didn't really do it. And so when I'm looking back, even at the actor or the sports person, I distinctly remember that moment where I felt like it was all good until. So with the actor, when I can tell when I told him I got kicked out of Georgetown, I don't know how to explain it. The cool points just left, and I remember thinking, "Oh my God, I gotta." Yeah. And even with the sports guy, when we first met, we were going to go to one breakfast restaurant, but they didn't have this particular thing that he liked. We went to this other restaurant. And I just felt like when he looked at me, he was just disappointed. And that's I was just coming out of darkness and I just felt like I wasn't anything. And so I found myself wanting to prove myself, to him. He's like the big guy. And after a while, like I fell into the trap that Queen Toy, you were talking about. Like I felt like I had to prove myself. And so I found myself doing things that, giving the pearl away. It had been years anyway, why not? But anyway, but I remember distinctly, even with the actor and even with this guy, I remember hearing this voice say, "It doesn't matter whatever you do, they don't want you." But it wasn't like these long line of men coming behind you. So for women who always have the look of whatever, I didn't have that. I was really just trying to build myself up. And that is why I had to just, like if the actor had to cut him off and I had to cut homeboy off. You don't want me. I don't want to be friends because I'm going to ask for friend things, not girlfriend things. I'm going to ask for friend things. Can you be here with me? The answer is going to be no. And I'm always going to feel this critical, you're not good enough, tall enough, skinny enough. You may be on TV, but it's because it's never because of me. And that's why I always say, who's dating me for me and not everything around me. So that's what been my thing of not really wanting to date either, because I'm not sure what their intentions are. I learned. There are a lot of people who don't love themselves who are in relationships right now. So I don't believe this whole thing. You gotta love yourself and then I don't believe that. Most people don't love themselves. If you really keep it a buck, most people don't. And yet they're in relationship with people who love them.
Yes.
So I'm done with the sweet, nice, politically. I'm not with it because I'm seeing it in real life. I'm seeing people in bad relationships, male and female, but they don't think they can do better But if better isn't coming, then what? Then you're like, oh shoot, I might.
So then
I
you
might.
kind of sometimes just stick where you're at.
Right.
And
So
so
me,
and you can't.
I like this is supposed to be the height of my like passions and everything, and I can feel it every day. However, monkeypox, smallpox, cooties, pandemic, I'm good. I'm good. I don't want to break
All right.
bread with certain people.
And I'm going to tell you right now, before we go to commercial break, a lot of us is good, but our viewers are chiming in. Cook said,
Come
if you
through,
don't
come
want
through.
me, then don't talk to me. Fantasia said it best. Free yourself. You know what, Cook? You better stop talking about
And
that,
listen, she said,
Fantasia.
she's going to drop that hot fire on you.
Okay, ladies, and you know our biggest fan of all, Gerald, is here tonight. He said,
Gerald!
great, Chris. Gerald, you know the ladies love you. They wish you would come on and join them one night. They really want you on with us. I swear, you're just like he's like the cast member that nobody sees.
Dropping them hot fire.
Exactly. Jillian said, of course, that was a comment that you were making right after you spoke, Toy. And then Antoinette, all the way from Texas, she said, hey, ladies. Hey, Antoinette.
Oh,
Just to let you guys know, I've known Internet since middle school, Harding Middle School.
Oh, goodness.
So, like, Antoinette, don't be talking about me and telling nobody, though.
You say, girl, I got some, I can drop that hot fire on you.
Look, Antoinette would be like, she didn't even talk. She wasn't even talking back then, so it wasn't much to say. Folks, when we come back, we're going to talk about basically the impact of dating, relationship, and situationships. It's a different impact on you emotionally, mentally, and physically. And it's really big. So you need to decide where you are and whether it's worth it. We'll be right back after these commercials.
We know what you made of. I do better offline, yeah. I've been calling to a guy. I'm in tune with the signs. I'm just trying to let go. I'm just trying to be me. I'm just trying to do Moon landed with the elevation. Arm strong with the levitation. My third eye needed calibration. That was heat rock when I notated. I've been going crazy. Stone face when I kill beat. Leaving no trace on location. Premeditated, ayy.
No, yeah. He doesn't mind at all. He want my juice like a. He does whatever what it feels for nobody but himself. No, yeah. So I pull myself together to not give myself the pressure. For his eyes when he's staring into mine, know he's bad for me. So what's standing in our way? And he's out of my league. I feel insecure, but I hope this is real, yeah. He doesn't mind at all. He want my juice like a. He does whatever what it feels for nobody but himself, no, yeah. Like a, he does whatever what it feels for nobody but himself, no, yeah.
Hey guys, welcome back to the 5 F's of Love, Real Talk with the Ladies. We would love to hear from you, so please leave your comments. And make sure you please get any Black man that you know between the ages of 40 and 55 to please check their prostate. If you missed the first segment of our show, I'm doing this because a really good friend of mine who's in his mid-40s was diagnosed with prostate cancer. He's had the surgery. He's going through the treatment. He knows how much I love him. He asked me to get the word out, and I support my friends. I made a commercial today just for him. So just know, I love you, S. I got you. We're going to be rolling this commercial for the rest of the week, for the rest of the month, until we get those numbers up. So Black men, get your prostate checked. All right, so ladies, real talk on that prostate. When you dating, I need to know that that penis is working. We're going to be clear. I ain't going to ditch you. I said that in the other segment. I'm not going to break up with you. I just want to get you some help, but we're going to work through it. I just don't want to be in the heat of the moment and find out that it don't work, because I might not be as supportive. I might go full, what are you doing? You knew this was going to happen. You know how we do. We forget.
Are you still talking that talk?
We forget to be all supportive in that moment. We be looking at them like, What are you saying? What is going on? Did you know this
Well,
already?
you'll be surprised how many wives are dealing with that.
Yes.
And this is a sensitive topic for men because
Mhm.
whenever they have any type of problems down there, especially when they can't rise to the occasion and enjoy intimacy with their spouse, that it becomes a very tough thing for them. So much so that they're even afraid to go to the doctor. And I just want to say to the men right now that this is normal, right? This
Yeah.
for your body to change as you get older, it's normal, just as our bodies change. It's normal. But when something changes, you have to get to the doctor. And guess what? They have so many things out there for
Yes.
men than they do women. Okay. And
Yes.
so there's a lot of doctors who specialize in this stuff. I have a family member who dealt with prostate cancer as well. And I want to talk to your friend when we get off air to, connect him with him because he knows everything about this prostate thing. And so if you're dealing with this, especially if you're a man, if you're a husband, don't let your wife go through the rejection because you are
Yes.
embarrassed or ashamed to go and get the help that is there and available for you. This is normal for your body to change. And so go get the help. I'm not talking about prostate cancer right now. I'm talking about ED, where things are not working the way you used to have them working. And
Yeah.
so there's help out there. And so go get it.
Go get it, guys. I'm going to tell you tonight, again, we love everybody's support. Antoinette said, LOL, when I said, don't tell them how I was in middle school because we've been on each other too long. Gerald Rowe, thank you so much for watching. Really appreciate you viewing us from Facebook. He said, hey, ladies, and we appreciate the support. So, ladies, real talk, when you're out here dating, and so you got two ladies who are dating, you've got the woman who gets you ready for marriage. I'm telling you right now, we're covering all the bases tonight. So we look at this, we want to look at it from a couple of different perspectives. Have you started out with dating in mind and changed midway through? If so, why? Because Toy talked about that earlier. Every person sitting across the table from you is not your husband. They're not. So my question to you is, why are we treating everybody like they're a husband? Why are you going into it that way? And so when did you decide? Because I'm going to tell you, this is what I decided. I was actually dating somebody, going through my courtship. And I was like, this guy was everything I wanted him to be. My nipples stayed hard. Like a man, their penis, my nipples is about a nipplage, right?
Did
I'm
she
doing
say
real
that?
talk.
She didn't say that.
Yeah. And this man would do it for me. But this is what happened. I found out he wasn't the most intelligent person. Them nipples did not get hard ever again after that. I went out on 3 days. By the third date, in my mind, he registered as not ready for me. Physically, he was what I wanted. But for me, the physical, like men, the physical thing is what attracted me. But I needed you to have intellect because that's what stimulates me. See, there's a difference between attraction and stimulation. And I think that's where we need to understand. So I automatically made him my friend. To this day, he doesn't understand why he's my friend. Because he thinks I'm amazing. And my thing is, you're not intellectually, you're not at the level you need to be. Like, and that concerned me. So I knew at some point, if we were going to get to that intimate moment, and honey, I don't know if I could have pulled it off. It would have been not going in the right direction. Because again, physically he did it. But so my thing is, what do you do? Like, Precious, have you ever been in a situation where you were like, nope, this is not a date, and I'm not dating. It's not a situationship. This is a one-time.
Yeah, I definitely been in a couple of those situations. I'll even keep it a buck. There were a couple of times we might have thought we were going to be intimate, and I saw something that just didn't quite gel right with me. The member might have been not what I would have hoped it would have been, and I said, I'm a bigger woman, and I ain't got the struggle like that, so I won't. And politely at the exit stage left.
I'm not laughing. Everybody,
know exactly what I mean. Or listen, you're expecting me to fulfill all the things that women are supposed to do, but I don't stay at home all day. I don't got no kids. So just sitting around and having a nice home, we can find somebody to do that. Like I got to go out here and do what I love to do.
Right.
But yeah, I was in some situations. It might have gotten hot, dating for a while, but it got a little hot and heavy. And I'm like, I already know this isn't going to work. So rather than embarrass myself or him,
Right.
I'm praying that a friend calls and says somebody died just to get me out, or something happened to somebody, so I can just exit stage left. And then you get to the point, you know what? I think my period like whatever. I'm out because I don't want to go down that road. And I also have dealt with a man who did have erectile dysfunction, and that happened. And I said, I'm not here to embarrass anybody. But that was going to be a while of taking care of that, and I didn't even like him. So, I had to exit stage left on that too.
And that's fair enough. So, folks, you have to understand that when you reach a certain age, that honesty is important. Just like this one right here. Have you ever dated someone just for sex? Like real talk. Like it wasn't even you dated this person. This person thought you was really into them, but you was really into the sex. I'm not going to act like I didn't. I'm raising my hand. This is just real talk. Yes. Like I straight up was just doing phone calls. I didn't even need to go out with you. It was just like, it's 11:30. Are you busy? Look, here go me. I would be like this.
Would you hear the usher? It's 7. It's 11 o'clock on the dot.
That was me. Now, mind you, it's been some years since I've done that, but that's just being honest. That's just real talk. Like everybody's had that point in their life where they have been with a person, they thought it was a relationship, but for you, it was just a point of just being sexually satisfied. Now, mind you, intellectually, they did it for me, and some other things, but this was the problem. I knew the relationship wasn't going anywhere because they were unavailable.
Yep.
Do you get what I mean? Like they were unavailable, and so therefore, when I figured out you were unavailable, what did I do? I made myself unavailable because it wasn't worth it. So that's the thing, folks. You got to do real talk. Now, the next thing I'm going to be honest with you. We know some of us have done sex for services that we needed. Lady, I have a lot of conversations with my gal pals. Now, this is where I'm at on this. Some of y'all went out for dinner and a movie and you gave it up for less than $60, and you know it. For $60 on the books. Because you thought that man was going to be what, Toy? Your husband. You was, he's saying all the nice things to me. So he took you to a $7.50, $12 movie. He done took you to Red Lobster. You didn't got the special because you really don't want to get full dinner because you don't want to be full. You don't want to make it like you eat a lot. And so for like $65, Toy, they didn't give up. They didn't give up. At the end of the night, he taking you home. You want to come in for $65. So let me tell y'all something. Did I think about it when my garage needed to be repaired? It was $10,000 and I was $5,000 shy. This is what I did. I gave it up for $5,000, But guess what? I didn't do it. But did I think about it? Yeah, I thought about it. Who hasn't thought about it? How many of y'all needed a car repaired? But the thing is, this is what y'all do. You take that moment and then you try to turn it into something. That's where I'm confused at. If you was doing it for services, now he over for dinner. Now, next thing you know, you 3 months in and he's still coming for dinner. Right. You looking out, he knocking on the door. Now you didn't turn a situation that you knew you were going into one way, and then Toy, they flip it. But guess what?
I'll tell you this, that first of all, I've never dated before marriage. I never dated anyone for sex. I've never dated anyone for services. I'm just not that girl. Okay. Even BC, before Christ. But listen, when you're playing with this thing called sex in relationships, I need y'all to know, I need a big wake up call that this should not be the focus of your relationships. Because listen, the biggest problem that we're having in marriage is sexless marriages. So it has to be something much greater than that. And not only that, I don't know why people are not thinking about this in this day, is that diseases are real and they're out here. and they don't talk about them, but they're out here.
STDs.
The other thing is that you have a lot of women out here having, if they're not protected, if they don't get a disease, they're having babies. So you got one baby daddy, another baby daddy. So there's a reason why God said, do not have sex before marriage. Why? Because he says, my yoke is easy, right? Your yoke is hard. In other words, when God says my yoke is easy, he's also saying yours is hard. It's hard to take care of kids by yourself. It's hard when you have a disease that you can't get rid of. That's a hard life. So I would advise anyone that is watching, do not make sex the focus. Make the character of somebody's personality, how they live, their morals and their values. And does it line up with yours, right? Can you guys get along? Do you guys know how to balance a checkbook? Do you know how to properly communicate? How do you handle issues when they come up? Because one of the biggest problems outside of sexless marriages, one of the biggest problems is marriages is unresolved issues. People don't know how to resolve issues. So while you're making all of this other dumb stuff, you know, going out for a free meal, going to see if the guy can measure up sexually, there's bigger issues that you're going to face in marriage. And it's going to have nothing to do with sex. It's going to be about, hey, do you know how to communicate? Do you know how to resolve an issue? Do you know how to pray when things go bad? Right? What do you do when your husband rejects you? Right? What happens when your body changes? Right? What happens when you gain weight and you're not feeling confident in yourself? There are so many different areas. And so when you put the attention on sex, you're going to always end up getting the bad end of the stick. Pun intended.
I mean, I
on mute,
have to agree. I was just going to throw in a little thought, just a little thought. So, I wouldn't say for service. This is years ago. But mad at one man and trying to get past it with another. And so I would call it like a grudge sex or something, because you're angry that the one you want doesn't want you. Or maybe this was just me. I'm just gonna keep it up. And so that is it's really unhealthy. It's really unhealthy. And I had to put a end to that. I said, because I'm still angry, and it does not change my anger. The one I want doesn't want me. The people, the men that want me, I don't want them. So I find myself there sometimes too. Like, I want this, and it's not the tall, dark hand. That's not it. Like, he can have a dad bod. I don't care about all of that. I just want to have fun and just giggle and, I don't know, move through issues and stuff together.
Actually, I think you're so adorable when you say that.
What?
Like, you're like, I just want a good person. And honestly, ladies, I think a lot of us need to look at that from that perspective. You just want a good person, you know. And just pulling back on what you were just saying, Toy, this is real talk. Ladies, my first life, I was a chemist. And I'm going to tell you, that's probably why I'm so particular about things now. Way before we start testing people, I used to tell people, go to the doctor and come back with your note. Right. And I'm going to tell you right now, a male friend of mine was laughing at me because the other day I was like, I'm revirginated. And he said, Christine, what is a revirginated? I said, this is revirginated. Okay. Ain't nothing happening up over here. One, it was one thing about herpes and HIV, but when you can die just from somebody coughing on you, that just, child, we can't even talk. What you doing? We don't need to do nothing. We good.
That cut off everything, didn't it?
Cut off everything. You can just cough on me and I'm dead. Child, listen.
Talking about them cooties is real.
Cooties, listen. For me, being a germaphobe, I was cutting it down to, you got your test? Okay, you can come over.
I mean, all of them tests.
Listen, all your tests now.
All the tests.
Now when I go out, I'm like, I need a test on the HIV, the herpes, and the COVID. Then maybe I'll consider us going on a date. But if you don't, then we can just keep video talking, phone talking. I'm good with that. Like, I don't need to be touching nobody. Because again, I ain't never ran across something when you cough on me, It's going down. So, folks, let me tell you something. Dating is real. And let me tell you something, real talk. Nothing against anybody who's out there enjoying life. I think you should live the life that you want, but understand, like Toy said, there's a cause and effect. There's an outcome to everything. So you can't go in on I'm having fun and don't expect to come out with some buffoonery on the back end. Now, I know a lot of us have made the transition from being whatever we were in our first life to making a transition to what we are in our second life. And I'm all about that. Do what you need to do that's best for you, but understand this. You've got to go in understanding that there's outcomes. And so before we go tonight, one of the things I want to talk about, has a dating status ever been changed on you, and how did you handle it? Because that's one of the things that we don't talk about.
Well, can I respond to that? Because, people hear about my marriage life, but they don't hear about before that. And I got saved right before we got married, right? So, I had my first boyfriend that I was just madly in love with, right? And he turned on me where he got very possessive and controlling, and that doesn't work for me. But yet I loved him. I thought I would be with him for the rest of my life. He could do no wrong. And so one day I called my father, who's a player from the Himalayas. And, my father, though he was a player, he didn't want his daughters to be played, doing the thing that he was doing. Right. So, I caught him crying, because what the guy would do is he would break up with me, get back with me, break up with me, get back with me, playing these games with me. And my father took me through, I caught him on a Monday, and 7 days later, okay, this guy was crying on my shoulder like a little girl, begging me to stay with him. My father was training me every day. Do this, don't do that, don't do that. And when I tell you, in 7 days, my life changed. It's like when he was crying on my shoulder, I was looking at the mirror, in my room, and I was like, yeah. I mean, that day, I never was that woman that he took for granted before. I never was that woman that he had controlled anymore. And I said to myself, I would never let anybody control me like that ever in my life. And I started to live a life like my father. My father taught me how to rule over men without even letting them touch me, right? But that was because I was hurt so much. I started to live the life of my father, but my father's lifestyle was not what I wanted. And I found that out within 2 years. I was like, done. I can't do this. This is not who I am. I just want one guy. I just want to, I just want a good guy. Like Precious said, I just want a good guy. I just want one good guy. And I end up finding that. But listen, I had guys who wanted to do certain things, and I'm like, dude, no. Or they wanted something from me that I wasn't willing to give. And there was times I wasn't so wise. But when I started going back to what Precious said, that was a time I was struggling with my confidence and my self-esteem. But when Toy fell in love with her, when Toy fell in love with me, it was over. It was over. Somebody say over.
I like that story, because what you're saying is pertinent. When people don't understand, when you give so much of yourself to other people, that impacts who you are, because you allow somebody to imprint on your life. And that's why what you said is so important. Everybody sitting across from the table from you is not your husband, but because as women, we think that they are, we allow them to imprint on us. And you should not allow that. I don't let people imprint on me.
Oh, he was imprinting on me, so much so that I thought he was God to me. And I didn't know nothing about God at the time, but he was my God. Mm-hmm. And I made him my everything. And I tell women today, never make anybody, no human being on this earth should be your everything. The only one that should be your everything is God Almighty, because he is infallible. He will not fail you. He'll never leave nor forsake you. He's not a deadbeat father. He's going to always be there when you call him. He's consistent, right?
And so that's coming from Toy with all boys and a husband. And we know how we love our boys. Because I'm gonna tell you right now, I hem somebody up for my baby, for Jules.
Oh, listen. Hey,
hems them up.
If you get through the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit, okay, You're not gonna get through the Father, Son, and the Holy Spirit, and you sure enough not gonna get through Smith and Weston. Okay,
and there you go. And I want to be clear, folks, as we go into this fall, and I know we're running over, but because suicide rates are higher in the fall season than normally in the spring and the summer, listen to what we're saying. Rewatch this again. If you're in a situationship relationship, you're dating, and somebody's not feeling you, it's not about you. It's not. Please rethink whatever you're thinking and focus on you as a person. Each one of us have been in situations where a person didn't make us feel our best. We allowed that person to imprint on us. We allowed it. And you can also allow to remove yourself from being imprinted on. Okay. So understand that that person says a bunch of stuff to you. It don't make it right. That's just them talking. So please, I really need us to understand, you know, the next couple of months are going to be really tough on a lot of people. COVID numbers are going to go back up. We won't be going out as much, or you'll be hesitant about going out. And we get all of that. But you can find us, because I mean, we're going to be here through November. We're going to be right here. We're going to be with y'all. We're going to try to meet at Toy's house though on one of these Tuesday nights and let Toy go on and cook, and we had a show. Because, I mean, let me tell you, so we need to show y'all how to do dinner style. Toy, we're going to sit right there in your sunroom at that table. I'm going to set everything up. We're going to produce it from the sunroom. Precious, of course, you'll be on with us virtually, but we'll smell.
I know. I'm just letting the care package just slide it.
Exactly. We're going to slide that care package in the mail.
Care package. I'm with you all.
We gotta have Precious here. No, we gotta have Precious.
No, Precious is coming for the face off, but she can't. Precious be on the road. It's hard to hit baby girl's schedule. Precious be on the roads though. But we're gonna try to do a live.
Precious, do your thing.
We want to try to show you guys.
Oh, but you know, we all get together. It's gonna be a setup. It's like, y'all ready?
That's right.
Y'all ready? Because we're gonna have that. We're gonna sip tea, that true tea. We're gonna eat that good food, and you're gonna really see some things.
Because it's time for ladies to just sit down and be supportive of one another, to talk to one another. And let me tell you something. Real talk, Toy literally just got off a plane, but she made sure she logged on, because guys, the messaging is so important. Having real girlfriends, having real conversations, understanding everybody's perspective is so important. And we're here for you. When I tell y'all, Precious, she be in the middle of a road trip and she feels my energy. And if she feels my energy is low, Precious, you have no idea what that means to me when you be like, what's up? You need to talk. And she don't even know it, but that's when you know you tight, because the person feel your energy is low. And anybody who knows me, my energy is normally at 1,000. So if it goes to 500, it's like, oh, wait, hold up, 50%, what's going on? It's
like, God, dial it in. Where she at?
And she dials it in. And she be in the middle of major stuff. So I'm going to say to you ladies, real talk. Make sure you don't allow people to imprint on you. Make sure you love yourself more than anybody else loves you, and understand a rule. And I never share my rules with you because my dad gave me rules. You would think I grew up in the military. My dad, I love him tremendously. Willie Edwards was the best father that God could have blessed me with. He was not my biological father, but he was my father. He raised me like I was his own and loved me every day. He used to say to me, Christine, you can't make nobody love you or like you. That's rule number one. Do you understand? And I used to say, yes, sir. Do you understand it? He said, you know what unconditional love? Unconditional love is what me and your mom have for you. We love you unconditionally, no matter what. Mm-hmm. See, that's what you guys don't understand. The sex part is secondary. It's that unconditional love, the no matter what, that comes from everybody or anybody you allow into your personal space. If people don't love you no matter what, walk away. If people are judging you based on stuff that you do, walk away. Let me tell you something about Toy. Toy don't play when it comes to God. But one thing I know for sure, before Toy tossed me out to the trash, she's gonna be like, Christine, let's have a moment. Let's pray about this. Let's talk. Now, let me tell you something. Toy, before Toy became Toy, LaToya is probably the person I'm gonna be talking to when I go sideways. She gonna come out of Toy and go full street on me and be like, look, I'm about to shake some things up. But let me tell y'all something. You need friends like that. You need friends who've been on both sides so you can understand. And I respect and love my friends who've been married. And by the way, people don't know that I was married. I was married, and me and my ex-husband are still good friends. You know why? Because I filed for divorce, because I knew what was right for me. He's a good person. He's an amazing man. And Simon knows that's my boy. I love him. I love Simon, but I wasn't what I needed to be for him, and he wasn't what he needed to be for me. But didn't make us wrong. That didn't make us bad. It just meant that we weren't the right fit. I was his second wife, and he was my first husband.
Mhm.
Now let's be clear. That doesn't mean Christina's ready for marriage right now. All right. So listen,
I
guys.
cannot.
Look, I'll tell you this, Christine, before you go off. What I just came from was a marriage retreat. It was about it was 16 of us. It's usually way more than that, but it was about 16 of us. So that was 8 couples, and we rented this huge house. And we have these sessions where we sit around the entire living room, and we put, if everybody put their issues, whatever issue, whether small or big, they put it into this little bucket, and we pull it out and we answer these questions anonymously, and we all give advice because we are a network of married couples that have, agreed to hold each other accountable for having a satisfied marriage. And holding us accountable for being great wives and great husbands. And when I tell you, this was one of the greatest trips that we've had thus far, because you can tell that there was a growth that was happening in the room. Because if you notice the questions that was coming out, they were the same kind of questions. We don't have any different problems. They're the same questions, different people, right? Yeah. And so we just need to encourage one another, because there's a lot of stuff that are coming at us as husbands and wives, right? And we need to learn how to resolve these issues and learn how to, like that unconditional love you're talking about, because we are going to change. Listen, our lives are going to change. Finances are going to change. Our bodies are going to change. Our children are going to leave up out of the house. All these changes that come at a married couple. And we have not been taught how to shift successfully with that. So the best way to do that is to have a support group of married couples that sit around and hold you accountable. And I believe that we need that even for women, like we're doing on this show, supporting one another, saying, hey, you need to value yourself. You need to understand you're a pearl. You need to understand that you're valuable, and that the man of your dreams is going to come, but don't accept anyone who doesn't love you. Everything about you, the good, the bad, and the downright crazy of you, they should love all of that. And if they can't take that, well, okay, it's maybe not, I'm not for you then, because you are a pearl.
I just want to say, one, I'm a pearl. Are you a pearl, Precious?
Yes.
She's like, yeah.
I'm a precious pearl.
Exactly. Precious, you're so dainty. And that's the one thing I love about you. By the way, Precious, can you please tell everyone about your earrings that's made by African-American businesswoman?
Yes, these earrings I've gotten from Unusually Irregular, unusuallyirregular.com. And it's a black woman owned business. And she also supplies earrings for Real Housewives of Atlanta and Bravo shows. So my stylist friend said, hey, let's order some things off of the site. Y'all, all the earrings y'all been sending me, the drip is serious. I went to a Mary J. Blige concert with these big gold earrings. People were like, yo, where you get it from? I said, Unusually Irregular, because I want to drop that hot fire on everybody. Get at them. Her earrings are so pretty.
What's the website again?
Unusually Irregular.
Oh, I like that. I like
that.
Yeah,
Right?
I was like, they ain't got to be the same. Just make sure my drip is right. Make the drip.
They need to give you a photo shoot because you're wearing.
I personally think so. I mean, when I went to Mary J. Blige concert, I was doing this little dance to "I'm a Hustler, Baby," and they were they were huge. And you're like, "Yo!" And people are like, "I need them earrings." I'm like,
by the way, somebody sent me pictures.
Pay the woman; she got the good stuff.
I said, how's Precious at the concert sending me pictures? She's supposed to be live at the concert. She over there. I ain't say nothing because I appreciate it.
But that's a part of sisterhood too, Queen.
It is.
We have been working hard. And my friend came to an event I had on Tuesday at Alliance Bernstein. We get in the car. She's dropping me off to go to Staten Island. I said, who drives me to Brooklyn to go to Staten Island? She said, oh, you want to go to that Mary J. Blige concert? Yes. And I'm thinking, girls, Tuesday. By Thursday, this is not going 4 o'clock. She's like, yeah. So we're gonna meet you at the Barclays Center.
See, that's beautiful.
And so I got there. I'm sitting outside and I'm saying like Mary J. Blige, Queen Naija, and LMA.
Yeah,
And I'm looking up,
really
and when
good.
I tell y'all, Mary J put on such a performance.
She did.
I cried because I felt like I was watching her retrospective in my life at the same time, from Real Love to Good Morning Gorgeous. And it was like, this is the soundtrack. And we have a lot of our sisters that are talented, but I've never seen Mary J. Blige perform live. And I'm telling you, I needed that for my soul, exhausted as I was like, we up in Mary, Real Love, be happy, no whatever.
It's like absolutely amazing. And I have to thank Sheila. Sheila took me to the Mary J. Blige concert here, and we had such a good time.
With no seats empty, I promise you.
Toy was there. Toy was down in her suite. It was such a good time. And when I tell you, we had a ball. I said, Mary is doing it with them heels on. So what, Mary?
I like the outfits. I like the way she sounds.
She got on my rhinestone boots. I tried to come home and do that same stuff in my rhinestone boots. I couldn't get back.
It didn't really work out.
No, it didn't work out.
Was P. Diddy there? Was
She
brought all the peeps out. I was like,
everybody was out. It was amazing, but she puts on a good show.
Christine was looking amazing. She was looking.
When did she not? Okay, I just want to
came up in there with her supermodel walk. That's when she came in.
I mean, I saw her in that real life. I said,
Everybody who knows me, I love the
snack soda on the side, ramen noodles. You know how we do.
Well, thank you, Toy. I appreciate that. And folks, that's another thing too. Your real girlfriends can give you compliments and shout outs. And it's true. You know, there's no hater in that. So folks, as we go out tonight, as I stated, tonight was about dating. We also want to pay homage to our Black men to make sure they understand we got their back. So if you know any Black man between the ages of 40 and 55, we love you. We just want you to get your prostate cancer checked. And to my boy, thank you for bringing it to my attention. You know, I'm right here. I'm with you all the way. And we're going to go out tonight on this commercial. We'll see you guys next Tuesday. And trust me, you don't want to miss next week's show. All I got to say is we doing real talk. And you know what it's about? It's about whether or not you're sexually satisfied. And how should you communicate that to the person you're dating or married to? There's a lot of ways to talk about it, ladies. And some of us are being real cutthroat about it. We got to stop that. We got to give our men some support. We'll see you guys next week. And thank you again for watching us here on the 5F's to Love.
Real juicy.
See you guys.
We know what you made of. I'd be better offline. Yeah. I've been calling to a guy. I'm in tune with the signs. I'm just trying to let go. I'm just trying to be me. I'm just trying to do Moon landed with the elevation. Armstrong with the levitation. My third eye needed calibration. I was heat rock when I notated. I've been going crazy. Stone face when I kill beat, leaving no trace on location. Premeditated, ayy.